want to hear, sort of along those lines, more about what your role specifically is going to be in the making of the new show.
Sure. I'm a non-writing producer. So Alex Kurtzman and I, we have a company called I run his TV company called Secret Hideout, and we do everything from hire the writers, bring on Brian Fuller, help pick out the director, interface with the studio, sit on set. I mean, we're involved in every single process. Okay. So more the steers of the creative, I'm not a writer.
Sure.
So I'm more responding to the creative and helping steer it and conceptualize.
Mm-hmm. Well, all of the news that's been coming out so far about, all the people who've been brought on board and all the things like that have been really well received.
Yeah.
So well done on that
Thank
front.
you. That's been a really important goal for us.
Yeah, I think it makes the fan base optimistic about
totally.
the show.
And that's hiring Brian was the key. It had to be someone who was a fan first. Mm-hmm. And so we just couldn't be happier. He's amazing.
So Star Trek hasn't been on television for over a decade, and what was talked a lot about in the junket and in Hall H is about just the effect that Star Trek has on people and on breaking boundaries and pushing those social boundaries. How in 2017 do you think Star Trek, the Discovery, can succeed in carrying on that vision of Star Trek?
Well, I think sadly, if still you look at most television today, it's still pretty Caucasian. And I think I'm fortunate enough to produce a show called Sleepy Hollow, and in our first season, there were more African Americans in our cast than there were Caucasians, and a lot of people talked about that. And I think at the time it was called groundbreaking, which was sort of sad because it really reflected our country. And so on one hand, I think Gene Roddenberry's original version sort of reflected what the world looked like more than a lot of what TV does today. Mm-hmm. So hopefully our show can just remind people that it should be that way, and hopefully in the future we can all be together,
Can we be expecting any LGBTQ characters on the show?
Potentially.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's important to Brian, and so that's very important to all of us to portray, so... Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And for the promo materials that we've been seeing, the new trailer was released today. Mm-hmm. Is that stuff the final stuff?
No.
Okay.
I was surprised Brian didn't say that, actually. I mean, we had like 3 weeks to throw that together, and we wanted to show fans. I mean, we're super excited by the score. This amazing composer, Phil Eisner, threw that together as sort of like an audition, and he did an incredible job. And the concepts of the ship are totally what we're going for, and then they'll be honed up until, I'm sure, the day we deliver. Yeah.
Okay.